What's going on? So I get a lot of people talking to me, sending me emails, questions, asking me why am I not losing weight on 1200 calories? I've tried everything. I'm eating as little as possible, but I'm not losing weight on 1200 calories. And on today's episode, I'm going to show you exactly why you're not losing weight on 1200 calories. And it's a lot more simpler than you think it is. It's nothing that you probably thought about before or considered before. It's a lot more clear cut and simple than you might think it is. And before I get into this, if you're watching me on the live, just type live down below if you can hear me and see me, or if you're watching me at a later time on the replay, just type replay down below so I know you saw this video afterwards and you got this information. And I'm curious, why do you think personally, if you're on 1200 calories right now and you're not losing weight, why do you think that's happening? I'm curious to know your opinions, your thoughts on that, because I'm going to tell you exactly why it's happening, but I'll go back and read exactly why you think it's happening. So, first of all, before I say anything, there's actually some people that need to eat 1200 calories. And those people tend to be smaller individuals that are pretty sedentary. They don't move around a lot, and their goals are just different than the majority of people. But those people actually might need to eat 1200 calories because their life, is not that, mobile and not that active, and they're very small, I know personally. But the vast majority of people should not be eating that little. They should actually be eating more. So, and I don't know why people think that 1200 calories is the magic number. I don't know who comes up with this. People tend to start losing weight and all of a sudden they're trying to eat 1200 calories out of the blue and they fail miserably because they just throw a number up, against the wall and hope that it sticks. It doesn't work that way. So I'm gonna walk you through the first reason why you're not losing weight on 1200 calories. Let's say you just got up one day, you want to lose weight, and you pick a number. It happens to be 1200, and now you're trying to lose weight. And you may be successful at eating actually 1200 calories for the first 2 days, 3 days, maybe 4 days. But what happens later on? These crazy depletions of calories are usually followed by crazy binge eating instances or huge overeating instances where maybe you're eating 1200 for a few days or maybe even a week, but you tend to eat, let's say, 3000 on one day out of the week. And you go back on track to eating 1200 afterwards. So maybe for 6 days you're eating 1200, but for one day you're eating like 3000 or so, and you kind of like forget about it and you go back on track to your 1200 calories. But this huge spike in calories makes your overall average for the week way higher than 1200. It brings it up to way higher to where it likely pushes you either back to your maintenance calories, which is where your body keeps its weight on, or it pushes you a bit over your maintenance, where you actually end up gaining a bit of weight. And it causes a lot of frustration. This is not about your hormones being out of whack from the first week of you trying to lose weight. It's not about your metabolism all of a sudden crashing and burning. It's not about your body going to starvation mode. Those things usually don't happen until you actually realistically eat 1200 calories, true 1200 calories for years, or maybe even a year. But if you're just starting out for a few months, that doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way. So, what I would recommend to you is, first of all, not eat 1200 calories because that's way too little for you, but eat a bit more. Because if you eat a bit more, you will end up not having these crazy peaks and valleys where you have a huge spike of calories followed by a depletion of calories, and you end up actually enjoying the process more and not having these frustrating moments when you just lose all control. So figure out your calories specifically and then eat the recommended amount. Don't eat 1200 calories because it seems like it's the right thing to do. So the averages absolutely matter. And if you're always eating as little as possible, followed by binge eating on a certain day of the week, it will bring up your average calories throughout the week to be way more than it should be. And if this is making sense to you right now, just drop a fire emoji down below so I know you actually understand what I'm saying and this information reaches you. And the second thing that you're probably doing is when you eat 1200 calories, it's likely not a true 1200 calories. Because if anybody eats a true 1200 calories, they will lose weight because your body likely needs way more than that. But what happens in the real world is you eat 1200 calories, let's say you finish eating it by 6 p.m., 7 p.m., dinner's over, you go to sleep at, let's say, 10 or 9. You walk by the kitchen numerous times, you grab maybe a Snickers bar, maybe a few cookies, maybe an apple, maybe some berries, maybe a few pieces of chocolate, a handful of trail mix. And this little bit increases your 1,200 calories to now be about 1,500, maybe 1,600. Maybe you eat a few healthy nuts, cashews or whatever. Oh, it's healthy fats, right? Yeah, there's still calories in that. But if you snack throughout the day and you don't actually acknowledge that it happened, you're not accountable for that, you're eating it. This actually makes your 1,200 calories closer to probably 17, 1,800 calories. But if you're only writing down 1,200 because you don't want to consider that what you're eating in the small amounts that you're eating it to be part of your nutrition, it throws things out of order. So you're likely not eating a true 1,200 calories. And this comes down to maybe feelings of guilt because you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be eating that, so I'm not going to write it down or realize it actually happened. But you get out of this mindset by eating more from the beginning. If you allow yourself more and you not put yourself in a restricted state of mind where you have to eat so little, it allows you more options, allows you more freedom, and you can actually stay on track way easier because you're not eating as little as possible. And this is the biggest mistake people make when they try to lose weight is they try to eat as little as possible, and anything extra that pushes them over the 1,200 calories is just like, it didn't happen. Oh, I'm not going to write it down. I'll get back on track tomorrow. It's my 1,200 calories. And if you eat more from the beginning, it becomes a lot easier. So these are two reasons why you're not losing weight in 1,200 calories. Number one is because you're likely having huge episodes of eating as little as possible, followed by binge eating or eating, way more than you should throughout the week, maybe 1 or 2 days out of the week because you feel so deprived and restricted, and it pushes your weekly average of calories to be more than you want it to be. And number two is because you're likely snacking here and there on a few pieces of whatever it may be, and it's making your 1,200 calories way more than you think it is. So if you eat more from the beginning, it will not only be easier, but you will stop getting into the same yo-yo cycle all the time where you eat as little as possible and just end up being frustrated because nothing seems to be working for you. So I hope this video was informative to you. And if it was, drop a fire emoji down below so I know you actually watched this video. And feel free to, tag somebody in the comments that may also want to see this video. Share my video so more people can see this. And I appreciate you watching this, and I'll see you next time.